What up, everybody? Welcome back to... Get off your phone. We're trying to shoot a show here.
I didn't realize we were beginning. Okay. Take two. Awkward.
Where
are you going?
What up?
Hey!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of...
Hashtag Ask LiveLeanTV, the show where we answer your questions that you give us on our Instagram account. We decided from now on we're just taking them on Instagram, on the Insta story specifically of our @LiveLeanTV Instagram account. So make sure that you're following us there. If you're not already, that's where you can come on the show and get your questions answered by us.
If you're not following us there, you're missing out on all kinds of gains. I say all kinds of gains, and I mean it, because we pump a lot of content out there that you don't see here on YouTube. You won't see it on our personal Instagram accounts either. So go follow the @LiveLeanTV account and get in the game with us. Also, let's not forget to do the extended audio version for the podcast. So
okay.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, we also are on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're all over the podcast, so you can listen to us over there while you're working out, you're walking the dog, you're in the bathroom, you're wherever you really want to listen to podcasts.
Taking a number two.
And number two, a deuce. We're there, and we would love to have you in your ear while you're taking a deuce.
That's awkward.
That is a little awkward.
But sure, if you want to do that, go ahead.
Hey, I'm not going to judge. If you want to learn while you're on the potty, I say it's a good usage of your time.
Great way to multitask.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what we do is we do an audio extended version on the podcast where we answer one question that we don't show here on YouTube. It's a little bit of a way for us to get you over listening over on our podcast to subscribe as well. So make sure you click the subscribe button while you're over there.
Find out if you're the lucky one who gets their question specifically on the podcast only.
All right. I think with all that said, let's jump into it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start with some questions that were asked on our Insta story about 3 weeks ago, and then we'll get to ones that were asked today. All right. First question is going to be from Fabio93. How many sets/reps are needed to maintain muscle?
To maintain muscle. Okay. Do you want to answer this one?
I feel like this is kind of one of those misunderstandings that like the process of building muscle is different than the process of maintaining muscle. I feel like it is and it isn't at the same time, because the way you're going to maintain your muscle is so similar to the way that you're going to build your muscle. It's just kind of like scaled back a notch, right?
Well,
it doesn't take as much.
It's also from a calorie perspective as well. So to build muscle, you should be eating a little bit more where you're a little bit over your maintenance level. But when you're in maintenance level where you just want to maintain your muscle, your diet or your calorie count comes down to that maintenance level.
This is specifically about exercise though, sets and reps.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of, if you want to maintain muscle, it's like follow the same reps in set schemes that you would to build muscle. But to maintain the muscle that you have, you know,
take it back a little notch, right? Like you were saying that you feel like at this point in your fitness career that you've been training for so long, right? That it takes a lot for you to actually gain muscle at this point. Like it's easy for you to maintain because you can just kind of like do workout amount that you're used to and everything. You can follow standard rep and set schemes and maintain your results. But for you to actually go above and beyond that, you need to increase, like remember we were talking about this, like do higher volume.
But that's for me personally, because that's how my body adapts to things.
Right, but I think that's the difference for everyone. Like you do need more sets and reps to build than you need to maintain. Right? That's my opinion. I feel like maintaining, you can get away with fewer sets and reps.
I'm standing by my answer of it comes down to calories. Like,
so training the same,
diet
different.
Train the same way that you trained to build that muscle, and then just drop back your calories a little bit to your maintenance level, and that's going to maintain the muscle. But it's not to say you have to stick with that same set and rep scheme that you've been doing, because there's so many different training modalities, and that's why it's so important to be on a program, because when you're on a program, new things come in. It keeps your workouts entertaining. Like, you know, when you're on that journey, you can get bored by doing the exact same things over and over again. And there's so many different training protocols out there that you could be doing to maintain muscle. Like there's descending pyramid sets. There's so many different.
I mean, the list is just enormous. We can't even talk about all the different set and rep schemes that exist. And that's one thing about our Team Live Lean group is like we designed our Team Live Lean workouts to help people maintain their results ongoingly, like, right?
Yeah.
These are the workouts that we continue to use year after year, like going forward and living the lean life, right? So we have programs that will transform you, and then we have our Team Live Lean membership to kind of keep you going forever. So, but it's not always the same set and rep scheme.
Never.
It's not like there's
always
one set
changing
amount.
So that's why I'm having a hard time answering your question, because it's not like there's one golden ticket to do 4 sets of 10 reps.
No.
Because that's just so stereotypical of what you'll see everywhere, and eventually you're going to plateau. So you always got to be changing things up. But you can maintain muscle doing that, but you're just going to be bored out of your tree.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's why this is like a tricky question, because I feel like there is no good answer to this.
Well, there's no golden answer to this question. It's just keep lifting weights, keep your calories where they need to be, and you're going to maintain muscle. That's the answer.
It also kind of depends on like how much muscle, right? Because like the sets and reps a bodybuilder would have to do to maintain that amount of muscle is different than like just a live leaner, right?
Yeah, well, we're kind of like beating this question to death. I say we move on.
I just think there's so many factors it could depend on. But yeah, let's do the next question now.
Okay, next question from Horsley Crystal says, I take a pre-workout 10 minutes into the workout. I lose some energy. Am I maybe sensitive to the caffeine? So you take you take the pre-workout 10 minutes into the workout. So typically you would take the pre-workout.
No. It's like I take a pre-workout, and then 10 minutes into it, I lose the energy.
Yeah.
So does that mean she's sensitive to the caffeine, or does it sounds more like not sensitive? Right?
Not necessarily. Like, it could just be that you've taken a pre-workout for so long, your body has just adapted to that amount of caffeine, so you're not really feeling that burst of energy. So I guess if I was talking to you one-on-one, I would ask you the question, after you take the pre-workout, like within that first few minutes, do you feel a spike in energy, and then all of a sudden 10 minutes it drops again?
Or are you like not feeling it at all, and then you're losing energy?
Yeah. So it may just be like you're not eating enough before your workout, so your calories are diff. Maybe you're eating the wrong types of foods before your workout. So if you're eating high glycemic foods like that are high in sugar, refined, processed type foods, that's going to do that blood sugar spike. So you're going to feel this immediately after you eat it, and then it's just going to come crashing down again as your body is working to kind of remove that blood sugar from the bloodstream. So that is another question I'd ask you, is what are you eating before your workout? We have a lot of different posts on our website at LiveLeanTV.com with pre-workout nutrition. We have quick pre-workout nutrition options for like up to an hour before your workout. We also have meals that you can have like 2 hours before your workout to really optimize your energy while you're in the gym. So there's a lot of different questions I would have to ask you about that question, but I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with your sensitivity to caffeine. I think it may have to do with, or have you adapted to that amount of caffeine? Maybe you need a little bit more of the caffeine.
Higher dose, possibly?
It's hard for us to say, but maybe I would say focus more on your pre-workout nutrition and what you're eating before the workout, because a pre-workout, sometimes it can crash your energy, but it's not 10 minutes after you take the pre-workout. It's usually like
hours later.
Yeah, it's usually within an hour or so, or more than that.
Yeah, but I would also suggest maybe experimenting with the time of day that you're working out, because that can be an effect for some people. Sometimes people try to be like an early morning workout person and they're just struggling with it, right? And then you might find that your energy is way better, like stronger and easier to sustain in the evening or even in the afternoon. So maybe that's something you would want to experiment with, just see how different your energy could be at a different time of day. And then also, like you said, trying different pre-workout meals could make a big difference for you, because typically, like in the past, I feel like people always talked about your pre-workout meal being like only carbs and protein and avoiding fat in your pre-workout. But I think for a lot of people that actually causes this kind of scenario, just like you're saying here, is like they go into their workout feeling really great, really high energy because the carbs are flowing, and then they burn just like that. So maybe adding some fat into your pre-workout meal could really help you with the sustained energy and not having that crash in the middle of your workout.
Go to LiveLeanTV.com right now, and you'll see a search bar. Just type pre-workout nutrition or something like that. We have loads of options there for you.
Yeah. Okay. Sarah Kim 93 says, when losing weight, I get dark circles under my eyes. I do sleep 9+ hours. Is there something I'm missing?
I don't necessarily know if there's any correlation between that and you're saying
she gets
you sleep 9.5 hours. I mean, 9+ hours is quite a bit sleep. Like sometimes people can overdo it with the amount of sleep that they're getting, but I don't think that necessarily causes dark circles under your eyes. That may just be something your body is reacting to something that you're eating, or that you have this isn't really in my wheelhouse. Dark circles under the eyes.
To be honest, it's not something I've ever heard of. It's not common. It's not something we have ever heard of. Yeah. So, you stumped us. We don't know.
We don't know everything. Dark circles is not part of our expertise, shall I say. Yeah. So I would say it's more of something that you may talk to like a naturopathic doctor if something is happening with your skin or something. That's more in that line as opposed to a fitness question.
Yeah. But it could have something to do with cutting calories too severely, I would say. Maybe.
I don't think
that's a stretch.
Yeah, you can't say this literature says that when you cut your calories, you get dark circles in your eyes.
I just know from like past experience when I was like cutting my calories so severely, I'd have like lots of terrible symptoms, stuff like that, you know? Okay. Like I felt like my skin would get drier and like, you know, I just wasn't getting enough nutrition. I feel like when you feed yourself properly, your skin looks bright and clear and you like look like a human being. And when you're not feeding yourself enough, you look like death. You know, like that could be related to that.
So
like,
our question,
you just feel tired.
Our question to you is, where are your calories at?
Yes.
And of those calories that you're eating, what is the foods that you're making up those calories? Like, is it crappy food or is it healthy, vibrant food?
Make sure you're getting enough vegetables and enough nutrients to like keep you healthy and bright.
All right, next question from Rosalind Tapper says, does your weight, water or otherwise, increase during menstruation?
Oh, tell us, Brad.
Well, let me tell you, when I go through menstruation, it's a disaster.
I love when you get these girly questions.
Well, I think this was meant for you.
Yeah,
so.
This is the reason why I'm on this channel, guys. Yeah. Because these questions come up and he does not know. Okay,
I need more questions on like testosterone.
Yeah,
and, like,
nobody ever asked
man questions.
Yeah. But yes, okay, so Rosalind, let's talk about this. Yes, it is very normal for your weight, especially water weight, to increase during menstruation. That's just kind of one of the symptoms that comes along with being a woman. When we go through our monthly cycles, you will have fluctuations in your weight, as well as other symptoms that go along with menstruations. You guys know there's cramps, there can be bloating, there can be all kinds of stuff going along with your period. So it's nothing to worry about. It's nothing that is going to affect your weight loss or weight gain in the long run. It usually passes within 4 to 5 days. So the answer is yes, but I would not worry about it. It's completely normal.
Thank you for answering that.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's go on to the questions from today.
Well, we still have one right here.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed this one.
Okay, Little Sunshine Grace says, can you do what I eat in a day YouTube video? So we have done those videos in the past. So if you just go search our channel, again, so a lot of these times you guys can get these answers in way more detail in video and blog format. If you just go to our website, LiveLeanTV.com, or just go to our YouTube channel, type in the search bar. You can just say LiveLeanTV, what I eat in a day. And you can find a lot of this stuff. So we could do an updated one. Actually,
I've done 2 of them. You've done
I've done at least 2 of them. But we have actually talked about putting a spin on a what I eat in a day video for one of our upcoming vlogs.
Oh yeah.
Should I tell them about that?
Yeah. Like I want to know if you guys would want to see this.
So I want to do a what I eat in the day in my perfect world.
A dream eating day.
Where calories don't count. So
health doesn't matter.
So what I mean by that is if I could eat every meal and every snack of the actual foods that I'm craving and want to eat, what would that look like? So breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinners, eating out at restaurants, like what would that look like for me? And I'll take you guys along for the journey in vlog format. So comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing that. We'll put that together for you.
It's funny because one of our questions, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, someone asked like, would we consider doing an opposite of live lean eating for a day?
Which we've done.
Yeah, well, we tried to in Toronto. By the end of the day, we were like, I can't eat another unhealthy meal.
No, we actually did it. But I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. I enjoyed the first meal, but not the rest of them.
But that's the weird thing about like eating whatever we can eat. Like we really enjoy our diet right now. We like love it, right? So it would be really hard for me to eat foods so different from what we're eating now because I feel like I would enjoy it less, and I just like wouldn't. Like I couldn't wait to get back to our normal way of eating. But
an experiment that I would like to try is adding in eating like the way we normally eat, but then just one meal a day. I get to do whatever I want. And
like a cheat meal every day.
And I bet you I probably wouldn't be as tight, but I bet you it wouldn't negatively affect me as much as a lot of people might think.
Well, because you're
but that's because I'm so far into the journey where my body has, but
But I do think you would see some negative results by the end of the week. Yeah.
Well, I don't.
I think you'd feel it.
Oh, I think I would feel it, but I'm talking physically.
Oh, we should do that. Do you guys want to see that? That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, comment below if those, because we're trying to come up with cool ideas for our vlog content that we put out there. So if those would be interested, let us know down below.
So yeah, we'd be interested in doing an updated what I eat in a day, but we'd want to do like a little different spin on it instead of like what we typically eat in a day, because we've done that before. So let us know if you have a creative idea for a new spin on what I eat in a day. LaClaude on Instagram says, hi, any comments on adding whole psyllium husk to smoothies?
So the only comments that I would say to that is, if your goal is to add more fiber to your diet, that would be a decent way to do it. Other than that, like, that's the main benefit I can think of from that. So if you're trying to add more fiber, you need to go potty, and you're having problems going potty, that can help you.
Potty, you're such a dad. I
know, but that's what I would have liked to hear why you're taking, or why you think you should take it, and then we could maybe go at the answer that way. But if that's your goal, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, from what I know about psyllium husk, it makes you poop.
Okay.
Okay, so it's eyes 2218. If I do daily 16-8 IF, what should I break my fast with?
All right, great question. I love this one. So if you're doing, IF is intermittent fasting for people that are not aware of it. 16-8 means you go 16 hours of fasting, you're not eating anything, and then you have an 8-hour window of when you get all your daily calories in. So if I was to set up your 16-8 in a perfect way, I would have your feeding period, so that 8 hours start immediately after your workout. So typically that would be a workout in the morning, and then we can get all that rush of nutrients back into your depleted body, so it just absorbs it all into the muscle and makes you feel all good again. So probably I would say up 25 to 30% of your daily calories in that first meal.
But what they want to know is, what do they break it with, not when.
So I have like a good post-workout shake. I actually did a vlog on what I break my fast with, and I showed you exactly
like
the
a
smoothie.
Recipe.
Yeah, so I think if you just Google that, you'll find that, because it has a lot of different ingredients in it, and I can't remember exactly all the ingredients right now. But also we have another cooking video, which is the best breakfast for weight loss, which is like my meat and nuts breakfast with eggs, some ground beef, some vegetables in there, there's nuts in there, and it's really calorie-rich, nutrient-rich foods that are going to like just satiate you and just refuel you after that fast.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some great answers. And if any of you are new to our channel, I just want to let you know you can use the search here on the channel. And
sorry, I don't mean to cut, but and LiveLeanTV.com. It may even be easier for you guys to go over to our website, and there's a little search bar in our website. Type in whatever you're looking for, and you'll find, we have like thousands of blog posts and videos on our website that a lot of people don't know about. So if you want to get more in-depth answers there, because we can only answer questions like, give like 1 to 2 minute answers.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason you'd want to do it that way is because you can actually see like photographs and videos and recipes and just way more detail than we could ever give you with this like 30-second answer.
Show, yeah. Because these videos are like 8 to 10 minutes long, and here we can answer your questions
just quickly.
Yeah, we can't dedicate that much time to questions.
But definitely anything you're wondering about, we've probably done a blog post on it. So use our website as your like ultimate resource.
I love that.
And anytime you're wondering something about living lean, it's probably already there for you.
Yeah, and it's funny because we actually had a question from somebody that says, has there been a question that you guys have not already covered in one of your videos before? We're not going to answer it because it's not good, but we think we pretty much have covered everything, because we have over 1,000 videos and blog posts and everything. Just like you said, the ultimate resource is at LiveLeanTV.com to take our answers from this Q&A show even deeper and get even more details.
Absolutely. And all of our videos and blog posts have been inspired by people like you asking us questions. Exactly. So that's where the content comes from.
So thank you to every one of you guys for asking questions.
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing if it wasn't for your cues. All right, so let's go with Alondra Lopez Photography. Any good books you are currently reading?
All right, so if you're looking for like health and nutrition books, I'm not currently reading any of those books because I'm more focused now on my personal growth, and I got fitness and nutrition on lockdown. I'm learning more for growing my business, also growing more as a person, so self-development stuff. So one of the books I'm reading is on like just business marketing, internet marketing right now, which is probably not what you would be looking for. I'm also reading a book from Aubrey Marcus, which He's the CEO and founder of On It, and his is more of a holistic approach. Not only, it does have health and fitness in there, but it's also from just a self-development standpoint. That's a pretty dope book. But yeah, On It.
Dope.
But it's funny. It's so funny. I was looking on my phone in my notes app because I used to keep track of every single book that I ever read in my notes app. But I think when I switched over to a new phone, it's not on there. But yeah, I've read.
I know, I was just looking in our closet today, guys. Our top shelf in our closet has like our library of books, and I was like, just thinking how many books that is. I know we've gotten rid of a lot.
That's what I was about to say, because babe, we've moved so much.
I know.
And the other big thing is I used to have a library card that I would abuse.
Yeah.
Because I was, and so if you guys are wondering, like if you're asking yourself, am I reading enough? Like, guys, when I was on my journey to discover what it is that I wanted to do with my life, and I was just lost, I was like, I know I have more to give than working in the marketing corporate world. Books opened up my eyes to what's the possibility. So I'd highly recommend you guys like dig deep into books.
And books can really change your mindset and get you out of a funk. Like, I was just thinking of the last book I read recently. I actually got it from the library. That's why I had to think about it for a bit, but it was called Drop the Ball. And it was kind of about like the overwhelm you feel as a mother and a wife, and like dealing with that, like how to share the roles of household and parenting with your husband in the right way and everything. So that, I feel like it really relieved a lot of stress for me, because I was kind of in that funk of being like, like thinking like I was doing a lot and like the roles were not equal and stuff. And it really helped me realize that we both are like floating this boat together, and it helped me so much. And then another one I've really enjoyed in the past was called Release Your Brakes. And this was about like getting out of your own way, which I feel like it was a big thing for me, especially even in living lean. And I feel like that was kind of the turning point of when my results changed for the better, is when I like got out of my own way and stopped overanalyzing everything and just, not to be corny, but like released my brakes. Like, so those are some books I'd recommend for you if you feel like that's the struggle you're going through. But
I recognize the name from the question. Alondra, she actually tweeted at me with an image of both of my books that I wrote. So she had a cool little photo of both my books on a table with some coffee and a notepad, and so my Awaken the Abs Within book and my Think and Live Lean book, and she was taking notes because there's always actionable steps at the end of each chapter. So big thank you to you, not just for getting the book and reading the book, but actually applying the teachings in the book with those action steps that are at the end of each chapter.
Yeah. So we know which books you're reading.
Yes,
but
that's
anybody
awesome.
else, leave in the comments below what books you guys are reading, because we'd love to hear even what genre of books you're interested in.
I would love you guys' tips. I know one area that I've started to open up about a little bit more with my struggles is my anxiety. And if you guys have read any good books on dealing with anxiety, maybe I would love to. That's something I'd be interested in, so put it down in the comments below. What do you know about nutrition for adrenal fatigue in women?
Okay, I feel like adrenal fatigue is usually related to overuse of stimulants like caffeine.
A lot of times, yeah.
If you're drinking like way too much coffee, this could cause adrenal fatigue.
Just caffeine in general. It's kind of like just adrenal fatigue is caused when you just overdo it. Like you got the pedal to the metal for so long, and you're trying to overcompensate on continuing to keep that pedal down by just putting in more caffeine and more, energy into your, like fake energy really, into your body. And your cortisol levels, so that's your stress hormone in your body, are just all over the place, and it's just doing damage to your body. So
specifically about nutrition for adrenal fatigue,
it would just have to be like cut back on caffeine.
And make sure that your diet is really balanced. I would balance out your macros and make sure you're eating good sources of protein, carbs, and fats like equally, so that you're not, and also that you're not in a severe calorie deficit as well, because I think that could kind of stress your adrenals as well. So even if you are trying to lose weight right now, like just take a little break from it. Get yourself healthy again, get back to like a place of normalization, and then start working on a slower deficit or a smaller deficit, instead of like you said, pedal to the metal all the time, like overworking yourself and extreme dieting. Yeah,
and then I think the last thing I would just say is, you mentioned adrenal fatigue. So are you saying that you think you have adrenal fatigue, or have you actually talked to a specialist who's run blood tests to get lab results that have shown that you have adrenal fatigue? It's one thing to say you have something, it's another thing to actually take action to figure it out from an actual professional. So I would say if you have the thought that maybe you do have adrenal fatigue, talk to like a naturopathic doctor to run some labs on you, and then they can give you a much more specialized action plan to help you, get better.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of times we like jump to conclusions thinking like, oh, I have this, or
all the
self-diagnosing
time.
when you don't know for sure. So yeah, definitely get that checked out because that is not fun to deal with. All right, so this one is specifically for you. Lisa Carlton wants to know, are you finding the CBD oil effective?
Okay. Well, actually, it's a good question based on what I just talked about in one of the previous questions. So yeah, if you guys saw my post on Instagram, I think I posted a few weeks ago, just getting more vulnerable with you guys, which is what I do, and sharing some of the struggles that I'm going through. And I opened up about my struggles with anxiety. And so one of the things that I've read about helping with anxiety is CBD oil. So I said in my little Instagram caption, my next step, try CBD oil. So it's been about 2 weeks now. So I've tried 2 different brands of CBD oil. So I'm like trying to explore with many different ones because I know it's such a hot industry right now that when an industry gets too hot too quickly because it's been picked up with press and everything, you got those slime ball marketers coming in, just putting in like lower quality products, trying to just capitalize on all the hype. So so that's why I'm testing. I'm just testing this one, I'm testing this one, I'm testing this one, but I will come out with a video on what I find has worked best for me. So like I said, I've tried 2 so far. I found one has been better than the other, but I'm not gonna really put my name behind one of these brands yet until I've tried a little bit more. But my thoughts are, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, the dosaging is a bit like unclear, isn't it? Like the different brands have different recommended dosages, and it's like, how do you know how much you're supposed to?
So I've reached out to my naturopathic doctor, who I trust, and I just said, what's your thoughts on CBD oil, and B, what's the proper dosage? And
for a person like you have to account for your size and everything.
And do you recommend any brand? So she gave me some to try and gave me some dosages, and I know for me personally, like I need to overdose on a lot of supplements in order to actually see results. I'm a non-responder in a lot of ways to supplements, so I need to like overdose based than what the package says.
Some people are extremely sensitive to stuff and others are like not sensitive. And
I'm a super doser.
But in general, you would say yes, right? Like you've noticed some positive results, right?
But I've noticed more results from one brand versus another brand. So that's why I'm still testing. And before I come out with like, this is the one that's worked best for me, I'll do a recap in an upcoming video.
Yeah, and testing and applying and living things is like really what we're always encouraging you guys to do. Like we can tell you that this is the best diet or this is the best way to work out, but until you actually apply it to your life, see the real results, and then share the result, like you're not going to know what's right or not right for you unless you really, really apply it. So that's why we're so passionate about like, only sharing workout programs that we've personally done ourselves and only sharing nutrition guides that we've personally done ourselves.
That we put our clients through, that they've got results.
Right. So you can bet anything that you buy from us, any of our programs, like this is the results right in front of you. Like we're sharing it with you because it worked for us. From Natiz2723, if you could only do 3 exercises for overall fat loss, which ones would they be and why?
All right, so this is a fun little question. I'm assuming this is just to be a fun question, not like you really only want 3 exercises that you'll ever do again, because I would not recommend anybody stick with 3 exercises for the rest of your life.
When there are like millions.
But the best exercises, guys, from a grand scheme of things, is it to lose weight?
Yeah, for fat loss.
Okay, so overall fat loss is multi-joint compound movement. So what I mean by that is, so multi-joint means that more than one joint is in the movement of the exercise. So think my elbow joint, my shoulder joint, my knee joint, those sort of things. So these are the big 3, which most people call in the fitness world. You got your deadlifts. So as you think about it, you're lifting a weight off the ground, you're picking it up. There's a lot of different movements, a lot of different muscle groups that are...
And it uses your biggest muscle group.
And the biggest muscle groups, which in turn burns more calories. So that's the important thing. When you use bigger muscle groups, when you use more of those bigger muscle groups in movements, it burns more total calories.
Right.
So the deadlift would be one. The next one would be the squat. And then the next one is, I would say it's kind of like a toss-up between...
Push-ups? Or your bench press?
I was going to say a pressing motion, either a bench or
overhead
press. Or shoulder press.
Yeah.
But then you also have, your burpees in there and these body weight exercises that really rev up your heart rate. But I think from a total calorie burn, you got to have some resistance in there. So I would stick with those big 3.
I know, right? This is kind of like, this question could go either way because my mind immediately jumps to like burpees, high knees, and like squat jumps. But like,
that's not building muscle. Like that's
right.
not ultimately going to set you up for long-term success, because having lean muscle is what's going to increase your metabolism, which is going to burn more calories while you sleep. And that's why it's so important to maintain lean muscle, because it just helps you burn more calories throughout the day.
Yeah.
So those exercises that you're talking about are good to get your heart rate up, to get you sweating, to get you feeling good, and get those happy hormones going.
Right,
but
totally.
if you don't have that foundation of strength and muscle,
exactly,
then it's not going to work as well.
Yeah, I like that answer because I feel like most people's mind here would go to cardio, right? Because that's what everyone thinks is for fat loss, cardio. But it's like, when you really take a step back and look at it, it's like you need your body to be strong in order to get lean. And, we're not just talking about weight loss here. And you specifically said fat loss, which is different from weight loss.
Which is good.
Because if you know how like when wrestlers are going in, or boxers are going into competition, they just want to like sweat out as much weight as possible for when they go on the scale. It's like, that's not what living lean is about. Like, we're not testing your...
I'm impressed that you know that.
I used to see guys
that's kind of sexy,
wearing the sweatsuit like on the bike and then jumping in the sauna and then back on the bike and back in the sauna, like just to drop water weight. Like, you don't want to just drop weight, guys. You want to drop fat, which requires building lean muscle. So I like your answer even better of like the compound main lifts, like deadlifts, squats, presses.
Well, I appreciate that you like my answer.
Yeah, and that's why I married you, boo.
Ooh, is it because of my intelligence?
Because you're so smart and handsome.
All right, how many more questions do we have?
Just 2 more. Okay. So Sprinty81 says, Jess, can you give us details of your postpartum diet and fitness story? You recovered so quickly. Awesome. Okay. I did recover really quickly.
2 times.
Yeah, from both pregnancies. I feel like I had a really pretty easy recovery.
Because?
Luckily, no complications. But yeah, I think it's mainly because I didn't do any drastic, crazy things with my diet or fitness. I was really meticulous.
I'm going to say something different.
About what?
I thought you were going to take that a different approach.
Oh.
Because you went into it already.
But that's what I'm saying, is I didn't do anything crazy because I was already living lean.
You just didn't get to it yet.
And then, but that's what I meant, is like, I was already living lean, like
going
doing what we
into
do.
it.
And through it also. Like I continued my live lean lifestyle behaviors before, during, and after pregnancy. And I just feel like that was so key to having a good recovery, because my body always stayed strong, healthy, and fit throughout that change. There was never really, I didn't like let myself go during pregnancy, because that's what makes it hard to get back.
So do you think some women go into pregnancies thinking that this is my time just to let loose because I'm growing a baby inside?
I do. Yeah. I do. And I know, to every pregnant woman, I mean, to each their own way. Like, obviously, you're a mom, you have your maternal instincts. A lot of women don't feel comfortable exercising during pregnancy. And that's okay if you want to make that choice for yourself. But in my opinion, and for me personally, like, exercising during pregnancy was very healthy, and it felt really good to me, and it felt like the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I do encourage other women to stay fit during pregnancy, but I also understand if you make the choice not to. It's
amazing how many women come up to Jessica at the gym, and like the last few weeks before you're giving birth, and then now, like a few,
they pay no attention.
Like no, I'm saying, like, they were like, man, like looking at you from the back, you don't even look pregnant. And then you turn around and you see the belly. But now when you've given birth and you're two months into
like if they
afterwards,
recognize me,
they're like, it looks like you didn't even have a baby.
Yeah. But I feel like people who never saw me while I was pregnant, they look at me, I'm just like a normal person now. But like while I was pregnant, I got all those comments like, oh, you're doing so good.
So big ups to you on that.
Yeah, but so I would say like my diet and fitness story is basically my diet stayed consistent. I kept eating nutritious, healthy, whole foods every single day. I stuck to my kind of like calorie range.
But you had some cravings that you indulged in.
Oh yeah, I did have some cravings. Do you guys want to know what were Cody's favorite things? Cinnamon rolls. Like, I'm talking like real, just dirty cinnamon rolls.
Dirty cinnamon. Not literally dirty. But.
No, but you know.
Or maybe you're like that, I don't know.
Actual, like, made with flour.
Knock it on the floor. And dirty.
Rub it in the dirt.
I like it dirty.
And then also sandwiches. Like I really had a thing for sandwiches and like with mayonnaise because I personally do not like mayonnaise, but for some reason Cody did.
And with
I
Kyla,
had sandwiches and mayonnaise.
And with Kyla, you had a huge like dairy fetish.
Yeah, I did. I wanted like yogurt and milk and cheese with her, and then also lemonade. That was a weird one with her. I wanted lemonade like almost every day, and Caesar salad. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
Weird cravings, you guys, and every kid is different. But so yes, like even though I did indulge myself with those cravings, the majority of my diet stayed normal.
That's the like the bottom line right there.
That's the bottom line.
It's like you can still have that food while you're pregnant, but the majority of your food should just be similar to what you normally eat, but just a little more calories because you're growing something inside of you.
Right. So just a little bit more calories, though. I'm talking like one extra snack every day.
Not like I'm pregnant, so it's just this is the time of my life I can just let go because people don't rebound that quickly after that.
I did have a couple of donuts.
What do I know? I'm just a man.
Anyway, and then also for my fitness story, I reduced all the sizes of the weights I was lifting. So like if I would normally do an exercise with 25-pound dumbbells, I'd take it down to 12 or 15, you know what I mean? So I'd like almost half every weight that I was lifting. So I wasn't lifting super, super heavy, but also not super, super light either. And I didn't stop lifting. I still like, you know, continued to visit the gym and do what I like to do, you know, but just kind of taken down a notch. So that's the story.
All right. So,
all right. Last question.
Okay, that was a test and you failed. Oh, remember what I said in the beginning?
What?
Let's make sure we leave one question for the...
All right.
Oh! So we're going to cut it off right there on YouTube anyway. If you guys want to listen to this last question, this is a little like incentive to get you guys over. Start listening to us on your podcast, on Spotify, on iTunes. Click that subscribe button while you're over there, and you can listen to us while you're on the potty. So with that said, guys, on YouTube, thank you for watching and keep living lean. If you're listening on the podcast, keep listening because we're going to answer the last question right now.